Welcome to Perfect Guardian, and I'll tell you the number 5 numerology or dynamic force. The number 5 is the most dynamic and energetic of all the single digit numbers. It is unpredictable, always in motion, and constantly in need of change. Although it is modeled from an almost equal mix of masculine and feminine qualities. In general, the 5 is slightly more feminine, albeit a daring, tomboyish kind of feminine, with nothing demure and submissive about her. The 5 is extremely independent in mind and soul. She is an adventurer and risk taker who has a hard time staying in one place, in one job, in one house, or in one relationship. Change is an absolute necessity, and yet the 5 is surprisingly loyal. The 2 and 6 are the most harmonious relationship numbers, but either one will, when temptation is strong enough, cheat on his or her partner. The 5 will not. The 5 may break off a relationship due to her restless nature. But while in a relationship, she will not deceive her partner. However, when she is not in a relationship, she considers herself free to date anyone she chooses and has no problem going out with a different person every day of the week. The 5 generally does not find a suitable career until she has tried a number of different jobs, many of them lasting barely long enough to warrant a full paycheck, especially if there is any kind of routine involved. Boredom sets in almost immediately, and the 5 simply cannot put up with anything predictable or repetitive. But again, the 5 will surprise her friends and family once she does find her niche, usually after the age of 30. As a focus, energy and quick mind help her scramble up the ladder faster and with less apparent effort than anyone else can. Many 5s take up careers that require travel or otherwise often change of environment regularly, becoming tour guides, salespeople, small business owners, independent consultants, lawyers, and so forth. The 5 can adjust quickly to pretty much anything coming her way, and that includes the work environment. On top of that, the 5 is usually tall and good looking, charming and charismatic, all qualities that support her in her career, once she sets her mind to it. In addition, the 5 is versatile, adaptable, smart, progressive, and tolerant. Anything conventional bores her. While they are drawn to the eccentrics and misfits of society, she is a social creature, funny and uplifting, and very good at making others feel comfortable around them. They are generally well liked and is often surrounded with friends and acquaintances. However, they also tend to polarize people, and those that don't like her tend to be the uptight, self-righteous and judgmental kind. But perhaps the most dominating trait in the 5 is their uncompromising demand for freedom in thought and action. They make up their own mind, rebels against any and all dogmas and ideologies, and does not allow themselves to be absorbed into clubs, cults, religious sectors, or ideologies of any kind. Their adventurous, daredevil nature may get them to ride motorcycles, but they will not ride with a large crowd. Chances are they will be a rather opinionate and passionate about political issues, but they will not be a member of any party or be nailed down in any way. They change their mind regularly, but never without good reason. They cannot be controlled, but they are flexible and can be converted if the argument is solid and makes sense. They have a healthy sense of humor and doesn't sweat the little things, but they carry their heart on their sleeves, and it is not at all uncommon for them to give their heart to the wrong person, as they are not the greatest judge of character. On the negative side, they can be selfish, thoughtless and irresponsible. They rarely consider the future beyond tomorrow or the next week, and worrying is not in their nature. They tend to procrastinate and can be unreliable. However, the most common downfall for the 5 is the tendency to experiment with sex, drugs, alcohol and other weakness of the flesh. A desire for instant gratification can be her or their downfall. Add to that a sense of invulnerability, lack of discipline and restraint, and you have a recipe for disaster. The shape of numbers reflect their nature, and just as the 4 is square and grounded, the 4 is a symbol of dynamic motion. The 4 is controlled, measured, synchronized and static. The 5 is random energy, elastic and constantly in motion. Thank you. Please subscribe to my channel Perfect Guardian and give your comment.